Jey Uso is back in the headlines for a huge reason, so we'll see what that's about. We'll also check out what's going on with R-Truth, Dominik Mysterio, and more. Starting things off with the Jey Uso situation. The first half of 2025 was an absolute career year for Jey Uso. He won the Royal Rumble by eliminating John Cena of all people. Then he selected to face Gunther for the world title, which was a pretty tall task, since Gunther had literally just finished destroying Jey in a world title match. But Jey Uso did it. He defeated Gunther for the world title at WrestleMania, winning his first ever world title of his career. No one was expecting for Jey to have a lengthy world title reign, but fans were thinking at least maybe he holds it until mid-summer. Fans are curious to see who steps up to face Jey Uso with a world title on the line. Do we see Jimmy Uso step in and they face Jey for the title? Lots of fans wanted to see Sami Zayn versus Jey Uso for the world title. The two big underdogs of the original bloodline now battling it out with the world title gold on the line. Or maybe some old foes from back in the bloodline days step up into the line and try to end this Cinderella story for Jey Uso. But unfortunately, Jey's run did not feature any of those things. He had 3 total title defenses, one against Seth Rollins, one against Logan Paul, and he lost the third match to Gunther, ending his title reign in under 2 months. Some Jey Uso fans were grateful that the run occurred in the first place, others were a bit disappointed, but none were as fired up as Jey Uso's own father, Rikishi. Rikishi took to his podcast to absolutely slam the world title loss for Jey Uso. Rikishi said that the writers and everyone that had something to do with this run for Jey Uso should be fired and lose their jobs. Rikishi says he wasn't the one that made the decision to make Jey the world champion. He says that was all their call, so why didn't they have a plan in place for Jey? He mentioned how they had Jey in tag team matches and all these other things, and how they never appeared to have a proper vision in mind for Jey's title reign. Rikishi said he wanted them to give Jey the same title reign layout and treatment that they would write for John Cena and Randy Orton. So no one was more upset over how this title reign ended than Rikishi himself. As far as things go with Jey Uso, he should be prominently featured on WWE television. He's still a major star, but as far as him making it back into the world title picture, that does seem like it won't be happening again anytime soon. Especially with the most recent reports we discussed the other day that a reunion for the Usos is on the way. Also in the spring, Jey Uso did say in an interview that he would love to have a singles heel run before retiring. So that's an interesting idea as well to keep in your head, because there's definitely a place for that. Jey Uso can easily turn on the fans and claim that he lost the world title because he was too distracted with trying to entertain them and how that threw off his game. It's definitely not a unique heel concept, it's been done before, but you can definitely see the foundation for that type of heel turn for Jey Uso. If they really wanted to go in that direction, they most definitely could. Once again, a new addition has emerged for the Ron Killing situation. When R-Truth returned to WWE at Money in the Bank, it was a big noteworthy headline that WWE shop and all of his merchandise was only labeled as Ron Killings. Then reports came out claiming that part of the new deal that he negotiated was for him to use his real name, Ron Killings, for the last run in WWE, to give his real name some buzz and recognition, since that's the name he will be using for appearances post-WWE. And then, on the Raw after Money in the Bank, we saw him cut his hair and drastically say goodbye to the R-Truth persona, and now he's simply Ron Killings going forward, which is perfect. That lines up perfectly with everything that's been going around so far. But then, the June 13th edition of SmackDown came around and made things a bit confusing again when Ron and Cena's match got confirmed for next week's SmackDown. The official's graphics card had Ron listed as only R-Truth, which is a bit mind-boggling since he literally said he was done with that persona and name just 4 days before that. So what's going on here? Is he going by R-Truth or is it Ron Killings? Well, new reports claim that despite the promo and haircut, WWE will still continue to label him as R-Truth. So that is a bit of a 180 compared to the reports that came out before, claiming that he'll solely be known as Ron Killings going forward. Looks like there is some backstepping going on there just a few days before. There's no official reason why they reverted back to the R-Truth name. Fans speculate that it's because of a trademark and character that WWE owns, while other fans speculate that maybe they don't want to say the word killings that often on WWE television. It's just a last name, but maybe they don't want to see that word on a PG program. So that exact reason isn't known, but for whatever reason it is, it looks like WWE will be ignoring that return promo from Ron and everything he said in it, and keeping him labeled as R-Truth. Even WWE Shop updated their page and graphic for him, changing it from Ron Killings to Ron R-Truth Killings. So it's definitely a bit confusing, but it looks like both names will be in play for him. He's R-Truth and he's Ron Killings. He's set to have a rematch here in the coming days against John Cena, and even though it is a rematch, there's a lot of excitement for the match because obviously this is another side of R-Truth. Definitely not the same man that came out at Saturday night's main event. So John Cena may be in some trouble there when that match takes place on SmackDown. Now let's get into this theory for the Judgment Day, because this has been something that's been lightly talked about ever since Roxanne Perez joined the story. It's no secret why Finn Balor brought Roxanne Perez into the group. It wasn't to help the Judgment Day. It wasn't even to help Roxanne. The main purpose of Finn bringing her in was to cause division all throughout the Judgment Day. He wanted Liv to feel threatened by Roxanne's presence, and that Roxanne was replacing Liv in every way within the group. He also brought Roxanne in the group to get closer to Dominik, just so that Dominik can fall for Roxanne and throw Liv Morgan away as well. A perfect plan for Finn is to ruin the Judgment Day's unity and ruin Dominik and Liv's happiness at the same time. That's the direction the story's been going in, but there's one big problem with that route. And that's the fact that it's not only predictable, but we saw that exact story happen for Dominik in 2024. So for the same exact story to play out again, just barely a year later, well, that feels like lazy writing. Having Dominik leave Liv for Roxanne is too predictable, too expected, and that's what's making fans continue to feel like that can't be the only play here. Fans feel like the big twist here in this story is that Dominik has grown. He's not going to make the same mistakes he did in 2024. This time around, he's going to stay loyal to Liv Morgan and turn Roxanne down to ruin Finn's plan. We've been doing a lot of talking about how Finn's plan has been going smooth so far. Well, the biggest disruption to it will be Dominik not falling for Roxanne's trap and sticking with Liv Morgan. It feels like a babyface run is cooking up for both Dominik and Liv Morgan. So fans feel like Dominik and Liv could come up with their own plan to destroy everything Finn is trying to do and then leave the Judgment Day themselves. Continuing Dom and Liv's relationship outside of the Judgment Day, now as a babyface couple. Dominik has been getting cheered for even more since WrestleMania, and it looks like the best way to keep him going in that babyface direction is to give him the loyalty trait of staying true to Liv Morgan and turning down Roxanne's advances. So a lot of fans are discussing that to be the big twist here. Everyone's expecting Liv and Dominik to break up, but maybe they actually stick together and overcome this evil plan from Finn Balor. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.